Hi everyone, Sandra here again. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about CBD oil. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but I've been hearing a lot about it in about, I'd say the last year or so. I feel like it's really big in natural or alternative medicine circles, but it's become really mainstream actually. So what it is it's an oil derived from the cannabis plant. But it doesn't have THC in it, and THC is the substance that gives you like that high feeling if you were to smoke marijuana. So CBD oil doesn't give you a high, but it supposedly does a lot of good things for you. So people have been recommending it to me, I'd say for the last 6-7 months, saying that they think it would be helpful for my pain issues, my chronic pain, but for inflammation as well. Now, the thing that's wrong with me, I guess, is it's inflammation, but the chronic pain just some days is just incredible, and the winter is no friend of mine, so it makes it worse in the colder months. I've been dealing with it a lot, and there's really nothing doctors can give me for it, so I end up taking ibuprofen. Well, I can't take enough ibuprofen to really get rid of my pain. It helps somewhat, and I do other things like my muscle rubs and stuff like that, but none of that really gets rid of it. But the ibuprofen, I've taken a lot of ibuprofen throughout my life because I had endometriosis most of my adult life, and so that alone got me taking a lot of ibuprofen to get rid of that pain. But now if I try to take too much of it, it really does a number on my stomach, so I can't. And I'm just kind of at a loss. I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do, So then I was thinking about the CBD oil again. And I know a couple people who have tried it for anxiety, and they say it works for them for that, but I really don't know anybody who's taken it for any kind of chronic pain or inflammation. So, well, I take that back. My aunt told me my uncle had started taking it, and he thought it really did help. He's just a little incapacitated at the time, so I couldn't really ask him. And he's got really bad back issues. Some of his discs have fused, and just a bad scene. So if it's working for him, wonderful. But I started looking it up. I started doing a little bit of research, and remarkably, there is quite a few studies out on it already, animal and human, and I'm pretty surprised. I think I did hear a while ago about how it has really helped people with epilepsy, with seizures. It also can really help people with multiple sclerosis. They have a specific blend out there or like a spray or something, that blends the CBD oil with THC, and apparently it has helped quite a bit people suffering with MS, with muscle spasms and pain, and it's really helped them to be able to walk proper, and that sounds really promising. I mean, I'll put links to some of the studies that I've seen, some of the research I've been doing down in the description box, so you can look it up yourself too. It's done really well for in studies, human studies, mind you, for high blood pressure. So they tested people before they did a stress test. You know, we all love that, don't we, on the treadmill? And it kept their blood pressure remarkably low. The doctors couldn't even believe it. And then I think it works as an anti-cancer or anti-tumor in several different types of cancer. Lung cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, and breast cancer. And in fact, one study that I remember said that it kept breast cancer from spreading. So that right there is very encouraging. I mean, it sounds like this could be, you know, a drug a lot of people have been looking for. It also helps with the side effects of chemotherapy. So they've been giving it to cancer patients for that. Now, it's not going to work for everyone, I'm sure, just like no one drug works for everybody. But I feel like it's a really good option that people didn't have before, you know. They've done studies on it for depression and anxiety, and I guess it has worked really well for that as well. So I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about it. There's potentially a few side effects, but right now it doesn't sound like anything that bad. I'm trying to remember, diarrhea was there. Maybe sleep disturbance. And there was one other thing. Although I can't be sure about that sleep disturbance because they said, oh, fatigue. Fatigue was one of them. And they said it does work well for insomnia, so I'm thinking maybe it makes you tired, which is why you might have fatigue. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet in my research, but I was really hoping maybe some of you have tried it, or your friends or relatives, or just know somebody who has tried it and what your experience has been with it. Because yeah, I don't know really that many people. And, you know, I think more and more people will be trying it. It's just that it's pricey, for one thing. So this is my own little bottle of a tincture I made. But it comes in bottles like this and smaller. And, you know, this can be like $100 or more right here. And I get it, you know, they have to extract it from the plant and then they dilute it in the oil and all of that. But you don't want to spend that kind of money on something if you're not sure it's going to work. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at. And CBD oil isn't regulated. It's not treated as a medicine. It's treated more as like a supplement, you know, like vitamins or amino acids or something like that. And so it's like, well then, who do you trust? How do you know what they say is in that bottle is really in that bottle? You know, with supplements, you're taking that chance too, but there are quite a few reputable companies out there, and they've been around for a long time, and so that's how you can kind of trust them because they have a track record. Well, with CBD oil being so new to the market, I mean, does anybody have a track record? I haven't looked into it extensively enough. I don't know, maybe there's some supplement companies that are now in the CBD oil market. And if they have, you know, a solid history behind them, then yeah, I would probably trust them more than somebody who just started yesterday. Although it's not to say that the people who started yesterday don't have a good product, but I just don't know that. I guess you could look at independent testing or something along the lines of that. But along with the it's not regulated, there's also not like a specific dosage thing. It's not like you're going to the doctor, you know, and he's telling you, oh, you have this wrong with you, therefore take this much of this product and you should be good. So, I mean, is that kind of hit and miss? You know, pain is different for everybody. We all feel it differently. I mean, you can tell when somebody's really in pain, but how do I tell somebody who's going to to try and sell me the CBD oil. I'm like, you know, oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe it. The pain is just so horrible and this and that and blah. Well, if they've never really experienced that kind of pain, then I just don't really know. I mean, I guess I'm sure most people selling it, because a lot of times it's sold specifically in stores like that, I would think they have some kind of training and that to understand who to sell for, because I believe you would probably take different dosages for, say, chronic back pain than you would for anxiety. So I have a lot of questions about it, and I'd love to talk to some people about it, and maybe I'll visit a few stores and stuff like that, see what they have out there. But yeah, I mean, if any of you have any kind of experience with it, any brands, or like what part of the country are you in? I know you can buy it online. You don't have to go specifically to a neighborhood store or something like that, which they're not always that easy to find either. So any information you could share with me and the rest of the community, that would be great. But yeah, I said I would leave links, and I will. Go check out the links down below, and that's just a start. I'm only leaving a couple down there, but I'm sure you guys, if you're really interested in it, you can find a lot of information on it, because I know I have. And it seems extremely promising for a lot of people with a lot of different diseases and ailments. So it really could be something that a lot of us have been looking for, and hopefully it is. And so yeah, you know, anything you guys know, please leave it down in comments, or if you have questions, maybe I could help answer them. I'm not sure. But anyhow, it was nice talking to you, and you take care.